Well, welcome back. It is March 1st, 2019. It's another edition of New Guitar Day. And here's my assistant doing what she likes to do. Check things out. When boxes come from faraway places, she's on the case. So the first thing you'll notice is that it is a Martin guitar box, but it is not a Martin. Too pricey for my taste. It's a used guitar, so they just found a Martin box and popped it in, and good for them. What we have here today is a little off the beaten path, maybe a step backwards in my progression, since I've been playing guitar for many years and haven't played bass for many years. But I decided to get a bass. So it's a used bass. It's a 2015 Squier vintage modified Jaguar. And this is an SS, which is a short scale. It's a 30-inch scale bass. And it was listed as in good condition. I may have paid a little more for it than I should have, but it's an older model and it has a rosewood fingerboard, unlike the newer models that have the Indian laurel. There's probably nothing wrong with Indian laurel, but I'm old school. Rosewood is what I know. So the other interesting thing about this guitar is that the first 4 serial numbers are the same as my address. We're going to take a quick peek outside. We just achieved record-tying snow for the month of February. And let me tell you, there's a lot of snow out there. We got 30 inches for the month of February. Normally February is about 10 inches. And we're going back into the polar vortex, which for much of the country is headline news. Up here in Great Falls, Montana, it's just what we do. We're polar vortex people. So, without further ado, it is probably about, well, when I took a walk today, it was 7 degrees and the wind chill was 13 below zero. We've let this guitar acclimate for about an hour. I don't think it'll be a big issue. These are fairly bulletproof guitars, poly finishes, solid as a rock, but even more importantly, it's a budget guitar, so I don't anticipate any issues. It's going to be the Guitar Center bubble wrap extravaganza, because that's how they pack their guitar, with 5 tons of bubble wrap. So I think what I'm going to do, save you the noise and the problem, is I'm going to go ahead and cut, pull the guitar out, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're back. It's good that I took a break. Guitar Center is notorious for doing really quality packing, which means it takes a while to unpack. First impressions of the guitar. Again, it was listed in good condition, so I would say that it totally passes flying colors. There's a couple dings in the body. Whoop-de-freaking-do. If it plays good and everything works, you know, at this point early on, I'm quite satisfied with the quality of the guitar. You know, again, when you look at their definition of a rated good guitar, this guitar comes in just fine. I just weighed it. It's 7 pounds, which is a really perfect, comfortable weight. And there you go. It's about as basic as you can get. The neck is very thin, but it's a jazz neck kind of bass. I knew that going in. And again, as I've done many times, I give an initial assessment. I say, wow, this guitar is great. And then I find something on it that's really not great. But initial reaction is, it looks great. We're going to go take and play it. I don't have a bass amp yet. That's coming on Monday, or it's supposed to. But yeah, it looks like it's a good purchase. Just want to mention this came from Cincinnati, Ohio. So it's a long ways away from home. It's now in Great Falls, Montana. So I'm going to go plug it in, give it a spin, and I will be back. These are getting shorter and shorter, as you can tell. There you go. Okay, so we're back to finish our review. I just played the guitar. It needs a little minor setup. It's probably just acclimating, coming all the way from Cincinnati to Great Falls, going into sub-zero weather, now coming back into a reasonably warm environment. But here's my final conclusion. The guitar was very accurately described as in good condition. If Guitar Center were to put good plus, this is good plus. It can't quite make great, just because it does have a couple minor finish things going on, either that came from the factory that way. But I mean, honestly, it's in really nice shape from what I can tell, unless again some glaring issue comes up later on that I didn't notice. The fret ends are very smooth. It's very dry here, so they very well could protrude as the wood contracts, but that should take care of itself in the summertime. But it's really a nice guitar, and even through my guitar amp, you can hear the tones nice. All the reviews I read, I have to agree that the jazz pickup on the bridge is really thin, but it would be normally anyways, because bridge pickups are just normally thin, so I'm not sure if it's an issue of a cheap pickup, but it's nice to have a little bit of blend, so you can blend it in. But it's a very nice guitar. The world of budget guitars is just, again, never ceases to amaze me. This is a vintage modified, so you begin in the bullet. They don't make bullet basses anymore. I do believe that they make affinity basses. I don't think they ever made a deluxe bass, and then you pop up to the vintage modified, so it's fourth up in the category, and then you jump into the classic vibe. And these guitars go brand new for $199, which is stunning. And of course I bought it used, so I got it for a bit less than that. And the added benefit of I had the $20 shipping knocked off and a free pack of strings thrown in. So rosewood fingerboard. Black's not my favorite color, but the other two choices were silver flake, which I don't really care for, and candy apple red, which isn't really my cup of tea either. So black turns out nice. And the one thing nice about the black model is the other two models also have the black headstock, which for the black guitar it works perfect. I mean, black guitar, black headstock, you're in the groove. Definitely a neck that's thinner than I'm used to, but again, it's been years since I've played bass, and I had a P bass, and it's like a baseball bat. So yeah, just really, so thank you very much to Guitar Center in Cincinnati. And the guy who packed this just did a superb job. I mean, this guitar could have gone through all kinds of issues and it would have made it here fine, because he or she just really packed it very nice. Our kitty cat wants to say hello one more time because she just loves to be in the show. And there you go. So New Guitar Day, March 1st, 2019, Squier, vintage modified, however you say it. Some people say Jaguar. Jaguar. It's an interesting word. SS, short scale bass. And yeah, I can only imagine it'll sound even better when it's being played through a bass amp. I don't know how old the strings are. I always preferred older strings because I like that sort of Motown, rumble, thump. I don't like overly bright strings. But anyways, I feel really good about it. It feels like I got a nice deal, good guitar, and Guitar Center once again treated me right. So thank you very much. And that is all.